Hey there, it's David Duford at davidduford.com, where I help insurance agents like you become top producing insurance professionals. And in today's video, I'm going to spend some time detailing the 4 steps that are involved in order to get started in an insurance career. So the purpose of this video really is for those people who are just starting or in the process of looking on a way or discovering a way to get involved in selling insurance and want some advice on the pathway to take to make sure that their step forward into the insurance business is a good one. And I can't stress enough, it's very important how you start off in the insurance business. Many times people get started, have a particular perspective that's just naturally developed because of the circumstances involved, that end up leaving the business because what they were told is dramatically different than what was actually experienced. And I think it's a sad thing because the insurance business, first of all, needs more sales reps. There's a severe shortage and will continue to be a shortage as the average insurance agent is almost 60, is going to want to retire sometime soon. And the newer, younger reps are going to have to fill in the void and take over and help people out as much as possible. So I think it's important that when you look at a business model in the insurance business, that you make sure you do a good job of vetting it, looking at it, and making sure that wherever direction that you go, think of it as your last attempt to be successful in the business. Your first attempt is your last attempt, as it really turns out for so many people, because in the insurance business, about 90% of people fail out in the first year. It's literally running your own business. That's why I call it the insurance business. It's not an insurance job. You're running your own business. Most of you will be paid as a 1099 contractor, and you've got to motivate yourself to run a successful business and all the components about it. But that's topics for another video. Let's talk about in this video what you can do up front to give yourself the best chances. You're going to start off on the right foot in an insurance career. So first of all, you want to get and spend some time researching the different types of insurance lines. So here's what I mean. It's really important that you take time understanding what products are available for you to sell as insurance agents, as well as what markets are available to you as insurance agents. Why is this important? Well, I have found, being in the insurance business since 2011, certain products appeal more to one agent than another. It's not that there's one product that's better than others. If you really work hard, see the people, and put into action a plan over the long term, you're going to be financially successful. It will pan out just fine. But it's important to make sure the product you pick is going to mesh well with your personality and really makes more sense and is more natural for you than, say, trying to force something that doesn't make sense. I give you the perfect example. I've always been a life insurance guy. I love selling life insurance. It's an intangible product. It does a great job. And I've always particularly liked non-med or simplified issue products, specifically whole life insurance, because of the benefits it provides a particular group of people. Now, what I don't like, generally speaking, are health insurance products. I never liked the idea of selling something like Medicare supplements as a primary way, at least initially. Now, it turns out I'd love to sell Medicare supplements if I had to be out in the field full-time again. But the initial impact I had was, well, it didn't really turn me on. It's kind of boring. Everybody's got it. It's not exciting. It's not like as tangible, or it's more tangible. It's less, it's more specific. It's just not my thing, So I knew getting into this, I didn't want to do that, but I wanted to do life insurance products instead. Again, what you pick, it's totally up to you. I don't care. The moral of the story is to find something you enjoy doing. And just to give you some ideas here on what your options are, you've got life insurance, and subsects of the life insurance business include final expense, burial insurance, mortgage protection, term insurance. You've also got the index universal life market or group or product. You also have key man policies, as well as buy-sell arrangements. There's a lot of different products, and your job, again, is just to do the research on Google. It's a great place to start. You can find most of your answers there. You might run into some books to read, that kind of thing, and figure out along the way which product really appeals to you, which develops an inner calling in you best. Trust your instincts. That's probably one to do. Now, the second thing here, along with finding the right insurance product to sell, you also have to find the right insurance market to be in. So think about it like this. When you think of cars, right? You've got entry-level model cars, you've got middle market cars, you've got luxury cars, right? Each car is positioned to a certain type of prospect, a certain type of buyer. And the same goes for the insurance market. There are different markets of people who buy insurance, and our job is, again, to find a market that we most resonate with. Again, you can sell people who are lower income. You can sell people who are extremely wealthy and high income. It's not a matter of what's better than another. You can make a lot of money in a low income marketplace as well as a high income marketplace. Let me give you the perfect example on lower income. I've always enjoyed selling final expense. And make no bones about it, final expense is sold to people who don't have a lot of money. They have to buy a burial insurance plan if they're 60 and older because they don't have savings. They just live month to month on Social Security. It gives me pleasure helping these people out because I actually do a really good service and I feel like they appreciate my work more. Whereas if I had to target a younger crowd, a middle market and up crowd, or even maybe a white collar professional type of market, I don't really resonate with that crowd. I don't have a background. I don't have an understanding of it. Their lifestyle and what they do in their life doesn't really match well with me. Whereas if I worked the business market, I would love working business owners because I look at myself as a business owner. I understand the thoughts that go through them. I have a dad who was in business and sold out, and I understand the turmoil and the investment involved. I have an emotional connection to them, and I would fight harder to see those people because I am one of them. So again, you got to find the right product, and just as important, find the right marketplace. And you'd want to make sure the product matches the marketplace, right? So that's kind of a duality decision here. If you're going to sell final expense, it's not going to be to people who are wealthy. It's going to be to people who are lower income and vice versa for whatever product. So step number 2 here is to interview agencies. Now, you may think, well, I have to be interviewed by agencies. That is not the case in the insurance business, I assure you. Most insurance agencies, if you can have a pulse, they're going to hire you. No joke. That's just how they operate. They'll take about anybody who is seemingly competent and give them a shot in the business. It's very hard to be declined by an insurance company for a position. And if you are, I promise you, go apply to another 5, you'll get hired probably by 3 or 4 of them out of the 5. So the point is, why do I say you need to interview those agencies? Well, because the demand for you is higher than the supply. So that means you can't necessarily take everything as it is projected. A lot of agencies position themselves as the holy grail of the insurance business. When you work for us, you'll make 6 figures right out the door. It's an easy profession. Everything's wonderful. We won't talk about the negative sides of this business or the frustrations. So we're just focused on all the positive stuff. You get an inaccurate picture of what this business is really like, and it disservices you because you're not getting the full scoop. So this is why you've got to ask disturbing questions, as legendary insurance salesperson Ben Feldman once said. And you got to ask the insurance agency questions to make sure how this company works and if it makes sense for you. Questions that you need to ask include, who is going to be my direct person responsible for training me? What kind of training do you have? What kind of markets do you focus in? What kind of commissions do I start with? What is the progression to actually earning a higher commission? That is a totally legitimate question to ask all insurance agencies because there should be some pathway of how you can accelerate your income earning capabilities. What kind of support do you provide for lead generation? How and what kind of lead generation models do you recommend? What else other questions you should ask? Can I do a ride along with you before making a commitment? These are really powerful and important questions that unfortunately aren't asked enough. So make sure you ask all of these questions. Don't mind if you seem a little bit poking and prodding into what seemingly is inappropriate questions. I promise you it's not. And as long as you frame it in the right mind, like, hey, I'm really excited about this. I just want to make sure this is a right fit for me. I really like what you have to say. I want to ask you a couple questions, maybe ask for a favor for a ride along, because I want to make sure my commitment to you is not for a few months and then disappear, but to do it long term. So ask those questions. Make sure that you find something that fits your bill, your focus, and then good to go. But remember, do this with several organizations. Don't just limit yourself to one and pick the first thing that sounds good. Do the interview, get all the information, sleep on it, let it mold and melt in the back of your subconscious to figure out if this is right for you, and make sure you do the same with other agencies. Again, the better perspective you have, the better you're going to be. And then isolate down to 2 or 3 agencies that sound best and pick the one that you think will match your personality and has you in the best interest in mind. Number 3, interesting enough, is now get licensed. This assuming this whole time you aren't already licensed, of course. But don't worry about getting licensed until I think you found an agency or an organization or a market that makes sense. Again, what if you find that this business isn't right for you? A lot of people just say, hey, insurance sounds good, let me grab a license. Now what? Well, you got to have somewhere to go, right? I think it's better to know where you're going to go, what you're going to do, while in advance or in concurrence with you finding an organization. So make sure you're licensing. Don't stress about it and asking and applying for these jobs. You can do it after the fact, because the important thing, again, is to find a home, to find an organization that has everything that you want, and where the sky really is the limit. So yeah, and then number 4 is, once you got your license, you're approved, commit. Fully commit to the organization that you have joined. Again, this assumes, of course, you've done the legwork ahead of time, right? You haven't been in a position where you did this stuff, after the fact, when you should have done it up front. So commit to the organization, jump in with both feet, and go at it completely. Don't be half pregnant. Be fully pregnant. Be fully committed. Work your butt off. Fight to see the people. Put into action the training they give you and blindly follow it. You're able to do this better if you've done all the stuff I just told you to do. Because by the time you pick an organization that sounds good, that looks good, it probably is. The odds are stacked in your favor that by working with this organization, you know exactly what to expect. For the most part, there's going to be some surprises, always is. Nothing's perfect. But you're in a position where you've got the support, the training, the mentorship, and the marketplace that best makes sense for you. So there you have it. That is my 4 tips on getting involved in an insurance career. I do hope that you enjoyed this training and got something out of it. If you liked the video, please subscribe. Make sure you share it with your insurance friends too. I, of course, recruit agents nationally into 4 different programs I currently offer as of 2019, including selling final expense insurance, mortgage protection annuities, as well as Medicare supplements. And I've got a lot of resources that train you on how these marketplaces work, what they're like, so you can determine if it's a good fit for you. If you'd like to learn more about those, go to davidduford.com. You'll see at the top of the page, Join Dave's Agency. You click that link. It'll show you a bunch of resources completely free for you to check out, so you can decide maybe which type of product and market makes sense for you, and if working with me makes sense for your insurance business goals. My name is David Duford at davidduford.com. We'll see you guys later. Take care.